here in the studio with us, we have a lovely young woman, and it's Breanna Schaefer. She is from Play Your Part. That is, they do music therapy and lessons. And Breanna, do not be deceived by how young and pretty she is. She is a board-certified music therapist and has a neurological music specialty. So thrilled to have her here with us talking about this. And let's start with Play Your Part. Where does that name come from?
Well, as I was graduating high school, I was trying to figure out what I wanted to do for a career path, and I was given this beautiful necklace that said, "Life's a symphony, play your part." And that became my high school senior quote. And eventually I knew I was going to open my own private music therapy practice, and I knew at that moment that it would be called Play Your Part, because I'm doing what I can in the community, playing my part, as we all are playing our parts, right?
Yes, but that's such an inspirational story. When you write your book one day, you can call it Play Your Part.
But so let's talk a little bit about what it is that you guys actually do. Can you explain to us what music therapy is?
Of course. Music therapy is the use of music to facilitate non-musical goals. So we're using clinical and evidence-based approaches and using music to facilitate those goals. And it's done by a board-certified music therapist. Not anybody can just use music. We can all play music, but using it as therapy, we are board-certified. And so a lot of things that we can work on are cognitive skills, socialization goals, fine and gross motor skills, communication goals.
And you in particular, I'm sorry, Nancy, I want to talk about autism.
Yeah, so tell us how that crosses over into autism, and how, for example, you might work with a young person on the autism spectrum. And I understand we understand that there's a range, but maybe take an example of one of your kids who you've worked with.
Sure. So music is very engaging and motivational. So working at the child's level, where they are, meeting them where they are, and playing, I'm on the floor playing guitar and different instruments with them. It's very engaging, and using music a lot with children with autism is for socialization, getting those communication skills going, because music is processed in both hemispheres of the brain. So it can work in facilitating those cognitive skills with those kids.
Okay. And do you work with a range of ages as well?
I do. My youngest client right now is 22 months.
Okay.
And my oldest client is 37.
Oh, interesting.
So, yeah. And
do you find that the skills can be brought out no matter what the age, that there can always be some success here?
Definitely. If music is motivational for the child, we can get and pull a lot out of them. Not all clients are great for music therapy, and so we need to make sure that our therapy is beneficial for them. And the typical client loves music, and we can use music as the reinforcer for them.
Right.
So we're working on those goals, but they're having fun. They're not even really sure that they're learning skills, but they are, because it's so engaging and fun for the client.
And I heard a beautiful story the other day from an autism parent, actually a woman who I want to get on the show, who has written a book about her son with a dual diagnosis of Down syndrome and autism. And they didn't really know that their child had this affinity for jazz until they took him, when he was like 13, to a jazz concert. And the child started moving to the music and going up to the stage with the musicians, and jazz is now his thing, right? So sometimes we can discover these things, right?
Yeah, definitely. And I have a lot of parents come into my studio wanting their child to learn the piano or the guitar, for instance. But we have to see and assess where that child is. If they're 4 and a half, they want to learn piano. That's young, just in general.
Yeah, we tried Wyatt when he was really young.
So they have to have that attention span and fine motor movement. But telling and educating the parents what we can do with music to facilitate some of those other non-musical goals while incorporating music and getting that love of music going.
Right.
With that internal beat and the ear training through music is really awesome. So.
Let me ask you about nonverbal, because I imagine you've worked with some nonverbal nonverbal individuals on the spectrum.
Yes.
And do you ever find that the music has opened doorways to becoming verbal?
Definitely, and I do a lot of work with speech therapists, actually. I do a bunch of co-treats, and one kiddo I started seeing a couple years ago, actually, I recommended we do a co-treat with speech because he was seeing speech therapy on the side, separately, and I said, well, we really need to work on his oral motor movements and those kinds of things, which I don't have the specialty for, but using music, he's really motivated by music. Mom says he's humming all the time. He's not talking yet, but he's humming, babbling, those kinds of things.
Yes, we do.
And so
we do.
Us paired together, two specialists together, we were getting him talking much faster than separate.
So, Brianna, where do people need to go if they want to find out more information about Play Your Part?
So you can go to www.playyourpartmusic.com. And to learn more about music therapy in general, you can go to musictherapy.org.